Hey guys, Ronan Reaper here, just back with a quick little TV series review. And it's one that I could not wait to talk about. So the series I'm going to be reviewing is, which has been going on for like the last month or so on Amazon Prime. And what's about it is it follows this teenager named Mark Grayson, whose father's a superhero, and he's discovered that he's developing powers of his own. And he also begins to discover that his father's heroic legacy might not be all that it seems. So, just a quick note before I give my thoughts. I have not actually read the comic. I knew pretty much next to nothing going in. All I knew was that this would be this would be like a kind of ultra violent, kind of funny superhero animated show, and that alone kind of sold me on it. And you know what, I gotta say, this show really surprised me. It gave me everything I wanted. Like, it is properly violent. And probably even more so than you'd see in something like The Boys. Like, because this is animation, they pull no punches. They can do anything, and because they have no limitations on what works in live action. And this show is very, very funny as well. But for all the ultra gory violence and, you know, all the clever, funny humour, as this show has a really strong beating heart. We see Mark kind of struggle with day-to-day life and superhero life and trying to balance the two. And yes, it's a story beat that has been done before, but it's handled in a very fresh way here that makes you really care about Mark's growth and his struggle. And talking of character, there is a huge voice cast. Like, pretty much anyone who is anyone, most likely they appeared in this show. Like, if you go into its IMDb, there's a big list of A-list stars, including Stephen Yeun, who voices Mark, and among others like J.K. Simmons and Mark Hamill, Zachary Quinto, Walton Goggins, John Hamm, Mahershala Ali. Like, there's a lot of people in this show, and yeah, everyone does their voice acting great, but the standout is J.K. Simmons as Omni-Man. He brings such, like, this superheroic charisma, you know, for the public, but underneath all that, he is an absolute maniac, and J.K. Simmons conveys that perfectly. Omni-Man is such a compelling character, and I couldn't have picked anyone better to voice him. And this is at its best in the finale. That whole father versus son fight was just, it was really like heart-wrenching stuff. Like, because not only was it super violent, probably the most violent stuff in the whole show, it coming right after the brutal ways of the Guardians of the Globe were all killed and the fight with Battle Beast. But not only does this have super gory violence. This also deals with the more interpersonal struggle between Omni-Man and Invincible, and I swear that genuinely always brought a tear to my eye. It is powerful stuff. Probably equally powerful stuff is in episode 7, where the whole world just kind of finds out Omni-Man for the murderer he really is, and my god, there's this whole tense fight scene. Like, it's just funny because Walton Goggins' character Cecil just kind of throws literally everything he can at Omni-Man, and and he just kind of fights his way through it. Like, nothing's killing this guy. But then you go through all that, and then it just ends in this really like tense fight scene between him and a resurrected member of the Guardians, who he like brutally kills on live TV. Like, it is a tense, breathless scene. Like, you will be left speechless after watching this. Trust me. Like, the lack of music after that was definitely highlighted. Probably how everyone else felt after seeing that. But it isn't just glorified violence for the sake of glorified violence. Like, it's violent and gory and just hugely destructive, but it's not like in Man of Steel where it's like just big spectacle. Like, you actually really feel the destruction as you see like people being brutalized, like, and it's all properly violent, and it really gives it that added weight. So you really feel the destruction that these superpowered beings are causing. Like, it's a really fresh angle that you don't really see explored too much in superhero media, and I'm really glad they decided to explore it here. And of course, one last thing I've got to talk about is the animation. Like, the animation looks great. Like, all the character designs look fantastic. I assume they're pretty much identical to the comic, because that's another great thing about animation is you don't have to change things that look to make them work in live action. I fear they look too goofy, but not here. Everything remains pretty much identical to the pages of a comic book. And yeah, some of the CGI work isn't exactly the best, but overall the animation really is solid, and any kind of rocky patches, that's literally the most minor of like frames, because overall it works really well for the tone and feel of the show. And yeah, even the soundtrack is great as well. There's some fantastic songs featured throughout. Definitely best being in the finale when they have the hives being used at the end, which I wasn't expecting at all. The funny scene with Seth Rogen's character Alan the Alien, probably one of my favourite parts of the show. I love Seth Rogen, and he was the perfect choice for that character. Yeah, overall, Invincible, this is a show and a half. I really can't wait to see where it goes in seasons 2 and 3, which of course have been confirmed by Amazon. And obviously, if you've read the comic, then you probably know where it's going. I haven't, so I'm really excited to see what direction it goes in. And overall, I'm going to give Invincible a big fat 10 out of 10. It really deserves it. It is probably my favourite show of the year so far, and I can't see anything else topping it. Yeah, those are my thoughts on Invincible. Let me know down in the comments. Have you watched it? What do you think of it? Have you read the comic? How faithful an adaptation is it? Let me know all that down in the comments, and also let me know if you're looking forward to seeing where the show goes next in its next 2 seasons. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.